scope of life.
Hey, good morning. Welcome back to another episode of Real Talk Tuesday. I'm your host, Cameron. I'm here with my co-host, Eric, and our very special guest, my father and Eric's father.
Hello.
So today's going to be a
up?
fucking pretty fun podcast. We have both dads in the room, so we're just going to be talking about, like, I don't know, generational gap, a bunch of other shit. But
It's gonna go everywhere.
yeah, as you can see, our quality is insane right now.
Not
we're
our
using,
camera.
We're using
Not our camera.
Eric's dad's camera right now.
Yeah.
And we're never uploading a podcast. That's shitty again. So what's up?
Can't go backwards. Introduce yourselves, man.
Forget the shit.
I'm Eric's dad, and believe it or not, my name's Eric. So there we go.
Twins.
Eric and
I'm
Eric.
a junior.
Yeah,
You didn't pick up on that.
EJ.
I go by a few names. Joel Adam, Cameron's father, representing over here. Thanks for having us out today. It's been a long time.
Yeah, long time coming. So if you guys are aware, we're in a different location. This is actually my downstairs dining room. Well, what is it? Formal dining room, I guess.
I don't know what this
It's
is.
fucking formal.
Nah, this is not dining
This
room.
can't be-
What would you call it? It's like a fucking.
It can't be a dining
Like a
room.
nook almost or something.
Wasn't it like a formal dining room? Isn't that what
You
people
think?
have in their rooms and shit?
I don't know.
I feel like
Yeah, you can set up a little table
It's
here.
it's the new studio. How about that?
That's what
It's the
it
new
is.
studio.
This is our new-
China
this
goes.
is a new studio. So yeah, we're gonna
Yeah.
have like we're gonna set up we're probably gonna use these two couches from now on, and then we'll set up all the lights.
Sad
and shit
days.
later.
Our mustard
sad
ghetto
days.
couches are gone.
Our fucking ghetto couches are gone.
We went all the way to the
hey,
fucking hood to
we're
get these
moving. We're
motherfucking
moving.
couches.
We're moving up in the world. Okay, it's
Right,
getting
that's right.
better outside. These are free.
This is top quality stuff. Guys.
Right. Top quality.
High quality.
I nearly cut myself. That's why.
Is there something on the
prime.
go?
No, that's all good. It's a good looking couch, man.
Yeah.
What is this, velvet? That's a Coming to America shit right there for you, young folks.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, that's funny.
So what's what we gonna talk
Not
about?
much, man.
So y'all brought us all the way out here,
No topic.
and what we're gonna talk about?
We're gonna chop it up. So honestly, for real, I want y'all to talk about our lives through your eyes.
Yeah, this is
you
like-
know what I mean? Because
yeah.
like a lot of people
That's-
know.
Hold on. You looking for pats on the backs?
No, we
No,
look
but
for
that's-
crazy shit.
but-
like,
but-
y'all,
oh,
y'all
okay.
looked at us like, what the fuck?
But that's
were you
easy
thinking?
though.
Well, okay, it's all good.
Hold on.
All you got to do if you want to know, it's just you and your son. It's the same thing.
Absolutely.
Yes, you're right.
Well,
Yeah. Well, you're seeing the same. I don't have kids yet.
it's just like you and your computer. You know what I'm saying? How you feel about it? How you stay up all night? Don't get any sleep.
Yeah.
You gain weight. You get nervous. You get stressed out. You spend hella money on it. Same thing as a kid.
That's what it is.
This is all the
Hey, let's just be real, folks. Let's
That's
be
what's
real.
up.
Exactly what it's like.
That's what, but for me, it's just like when I see you and your kid, it just takes me back. It's the same thing. Remember yesterday we were out, and he was running around. That's you, man. That's It's exactly
And-
what
Did
you
you
did.
tell him about the game?
What game?
The Golden Knights game. Or the
Oh
Silver Knights game.
yeah. Did I
Oh,
tell you
yeah, you told me about that when
You told you like teared up and
and
shit?
that's what it is.
Can we get some tissue in here, please?
And that's what
Thank
it
you.
is.
Teared up like a motherfucker. I was crying
Yeah.
like a baby.
Okay, so I got a moment when we were when you was playing football. You was playing, I think it was high school football.
Yeah.
And I don't know, what you played like linebacker or something like that?
Yeah.
And he was running down, and I was watching the game, and I saw him, and you just destroyed somebody. I almost passed out. And they said Eric
Proud
Glover
father.
on the play. I wanted to cry past.
He's like,
That's my boy.
Exactly. I didn't know what to do. I wanted to. I was
You
emotional.
clock people? You were good football?
Yeah, he
Yeah,
was.
oh, wow.
He destroyed this one dude. And I
Damn.
was like,
I was
oh,
never into sports. I can't
that
even
is
fucking
the
catch a
best.
football.
So when you get there with Dex,
Dex.
you'll know what I'm talking about.
Hey, we just
Is
signed
Dex
him up
gonna
for
get into
soccer.
sports?
Huh?
Yeah?
We
You're
just
gonna
signed him
oh,
for soccer. You
fuck.
know, Ward and Haley's daughter.
Yeah, what was that? She got, what is she, part of the football, pro ball
She's
association?
a basketball coach, but their daughter is playing soccer with Dex coming soon.
Oh, it's a
Supposed to be.
unisex team?
Yeah. All of them is because they don't really know.
So
Like
remember,
five.
we had this conversation. You'll know what I'm talking about because Dex gonna be running down and he gonna score, and you gonna just. I mean, he's 3, but you
It's
still.
still the same.
Same
It's the
effect,
same.
Still gonna be
yeah.
like, oh my god, I don't know what to do.
I need some more.
Yeah, exactly.
I need some more. It's a drug.
Damn.
So,
Oh,
Excuse me, folks. Business call.
is your wife?
That'd be the wife.
Go ahead.
yeah, let's see.
Get her.
Get the
Oh.
wife right.
It's my daughter talking about children.
There you go.
Hi. Oh, she can't see. You got to click activate. Jesus Christ.
All right, folks. We're actually going live here. This is my daughter Amelia.
He said we're going live. We're doing it live.
This is my daughter Amelia. Say hi. We're doing a live podcast here, honey. How you doing? say hi to everybody.
Audio sounds horrible. Goodbye. Hi.
Hi, I love you. Daddy loves you. My daughter's had a 100-degree fever for the last.
Yeah, she's been sick.
This is her third day, so
She's looking good now. She's looking good now.
You know what? No, he
okay, Daddy, bring you home candy.
Yeah, I know.
It's not 100 degrees. 100 degrees is
my
not
ass
super
fucking
scary.
ditch.
It's like when it gets 103. That's when you start.
That's what you
yeah,
say. He says 103
it was
best.
100. Yeah, even at 100, as a parent, you still freak out.
You freak out
because it's a small
frame.
frame child.
Yeah.
100 for a child is getting up there. That's kind of like
but as a parent,
back and forth.
As a parent, you freak out at 99. What? Yeah. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's 98.7.
Like last night, I couldn't sleep last night because basically one eye was on my daughter the whole night, and then my hand was on standby and just touching her every 15, 20 minutes.
Just
touching her.
Is that hot? Are you sweating?
Exactly.
He said it comes second nature. Like you build this
It does.
Legit.
It does.
It's like as soon as the baby pops out, you turn into a whole different
You're like,
person.
absolutely.
But you know what's even worse though? After your kids are grown, you still feel like that towards them.
Yeah. Even
But
though
you
he's
gotta take care of him.
almost 30.
But the space y'all are in, I'm not there. Because when your daughter popped up on the screen, I'm like, ugh, there's no way I could do that. How old is she?
She's just turned 3.
See, no.
Yeah.
My youngest, who is Jaren. Jaren is what, 22?
told you, yeah.
Something like that?
In these streets too, Jaron. This is the shout
Jaren,
out.
yeah,
shout out to Jaren.
Shout out to Jaron in the motherfucking street.
We know you fucking
Living.
wilding last
Yeah.
night.
Doing some more.
Wilding out, baby.
Yeah, but when you got kids that I still worry about him.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I know he's good.
The worriness never goes away.
It never goes
Even
away.
if the guy is 50 and you're 70, it never goes away.
Exactly.
That's weird.
You got a cold, son? Oh, well, let me go to
Exactly.
Walgreens, pick you up something real quick. Dad, I'm 50. I'm
But
on my way.
But he's
My
not a
wife-
baby.
I got a senior dimension card. I'll give you that discount.
But he's not a baby, and he can call me and say, "Hey, check this out. What you think about this? What you think?"
Yeah.
We can toss some stuff around. But when they little, man, forget that.
get it.
Is it better now that we're adults?
Absolutely.
Like talking to us is easier. It's
for
like
me,
shit,
yes,
yeah.
yes, for me, absolutely.
Because me and my little brother talk about it all the time, like how we're older. So like when we interact with our family now, it's like way relaxed, and it's like we're adults now, and we like drink with them and we talk with them.
It's
and
more
like,
of a comfort zone.
Yeah.
And I think being a parent, when you actually see your children starting to be independent, it's a whew,
Yeah.
all right.
These motherfuckers
Is it
made it. We ain't fuck up too bad, baby. He made it.
I tell my kids, you can talk back to me all you want. Just say it in a complete sentence, please.
You know?
I need to know everything.
Hey, we did it good. We did it well enough. That's what I
Man,
think.
it's a big relief.
It's a big relief because you feel safer. You can take off the safety locks in your house.
Yeah.
You know, you can let them play with smaller toys now because they're not going to eat it.
Right.
Most of them. And yeah, it's a big relief.
It's funny to say that because my position right now, I'm freaking out because we teaching Aubrey to eat. Like,
Yeah,
you know what
she's
I mean?
tiny.
And now he's saying like he freaks out about larger shit now, but not necessarily. But it's still that same word. Like if I was choking like a motherfucker right now,
he'd freak out. Yeah.
but
really?
But I know what I know what.
Fuck, would you just let me fucking joke?
I just got restarted, so I got first aid.
No. I would know how to deal with him though. I would know how to deal with him.
Yeah.
I can deal with
There's
that.
plenty of chairs around here.
Yeah, I
Pop
can Heimlich him, but if it was a baby, that would freak me out.
Yeah,
then I
because
gotta-
it's a
you're not-
different level.
Yeah.
It's a panic.
It's a
like
panic.
Even with a baby, they can't say what the fuck is going
Yeah.
on. So you just like
So you just have to be like, what's going on?
You'd see the change in the face, the
Then
color.
they start turning
Has Aubrey
blue.
done that yet? Like anything
Yeah.
crazy?
Yeah. Blue and purple,
Really?
that's not friendly
Oh my God.
colors. Yeah.
Blue is not a friendly color?
The shades, yeah. But that's the
This
lack of
couch.
oxygen, of
Yeah.
course, you know.
Well, yeah.
But like you said, it'll come natural when you have a kid. You'll
Fuck,
get
I don't
it.
even know what I'm
that
thinking.
shit. That shit's scary though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shit's scary though, man. That shit's the first kid.
If you could take care of a pet and a fern,
You
you're
can
all right.
basically take
you're,
care-
you're all
legit.
right. You're halfway there.
There's a reason I ain't got a dog
You
in
know what I'm
this
saying?
house.
But that's how you test yourself. You get a couple house plants that are real, and you just monitor
them alive.
them. Yeah, if you can last a year or two, you're good to
Can't
go.
go get bamboo. Shit gonna die.
Shit that doesn't need water.
Bamboo and a cactus.
For you, I start with some
That
weeds.
shit would die.
Put a weed in
Bamboo
here.
and some cactus.
No, the
It'll
weed in
kill
the
him.
backyard is already dying.
Plant some
That shit
weed.
fucking
Oh,
drying
for real?
out.
Yeah.
Can't say I have the opposite of a green thumb.
Yeah, my house just burns.
That's cool.
That's funny. That's
Fuck,
interesting.
dude.
But then
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's not like the Well, what's the difference between raising a kid nowadays, you think, compared to when we were born?
Money.
Yeah, money
and definitely technology has come a long way because back in the day,
definitely technology.
let me drop to my nerd side. Technology is definitely with the cell phones and the iPads.
We were just
You
talking
can
about
keep
it,
your
actually.
child occupied, and a lot of folks think it's like, oh, don't put that electronics in front of their face. They're gonna go blind. They're gonna be stupid. Blah blah blah. But I'm telling you right now, in my own personal, with my kids now, like my 13-year-old JoJo and Amelia, it's wondrous. They learn a lot.
You don't think JoJo's like too addicted to gaming?
Well, it could be a good thing because if it becomes like the next Elon Musk in the future, like, oh, we all started with this and that, like you were on the computer
at like 3
until you can touch the keys. You used to call yourself a CEO when you were like 5-6 years old. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Lil Cam.
I was just predicting the future.
This guy was
baby.
so creative when he was little, man. He was just like, I mean, he was, absolutely. And look where he led today,
But for me, when I was coming up,
number 75 at Amazon. You know what I'm saying?
when I was coming up, my dad had a choice. He had a choice whether, to let me do the street stuff or do the computer stuff, right?
Yeah.
Can you get back to the street stuff?
I have words to weigh in.
So he chose the computer stuff for me. So anytime I wanted something computer or this, he got it.
Wow.
Because he always told me this right here, because he didn't know anything about it. He said, this right here is going to make you great. And he embraced it. And so when you were growing up, I embraced it for I kind of pushed it on you, the gaming and all that stuff.
Are you trying to promote like speaking spells?
No, but I'm just saying, he was.
Those were the shit.
It was.
Speaking spells.
What is it?
Oh man.
He said, "What is that?" I feel like smacking it right now.
Yeah, be my guest, man.
But anyway,
What is it?
But
speaking spells, electrical
it's a
device
little
how you
game
spell.
that teach you how to spell.
Speaking spells were the number one.
Oh, they
selling
had that in
toys.
Toy Story.
It has a
The fucking-
computerized voice.
Yeah. See, I'm not stupid.
Teach you how to read, write.
My dad just never bought me one.
But yeah, that's where I came from. So I promoted that. And I see you with your son. He's
Tech savvy.
3 years old.
He's texting. Yeah, he was playing the fucking Switch in the car.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
Went to the fucking
Went
hood
to-
to get
went
the
to-
chair.
Yeah, going back to the what's different nowadays. It's basically like back in the day, parents had to be more energetic. You're outside till playing football, baseball. It still happens today, but I
Yeah.
think nowadays parents are more stressed out, so it's easier to hand the kid an iPhone or
you think-
iPad.
That's
For more of-
deeper into that.
Well, I was gonna say do you think
That's a true story though. It's not saying the parents don't love their children because the children are learning with all the technology and all the games put out there.
Yeah.
Just ABC Mouse and everything. It's just but back in the day, you had to exert more energy toward your child because you couldn't hand them nothing except with a block of wood or something, paint a face on it. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, play with this stick.
play with this fucking stick.
Here's a fork. Yeah.
This fork is your sword.
Put it out over this.
So yeah, technology is definitely a plus. Because
Do you think it's a societal norm though that like forces parents into using like?
it's the future though? It's the way of
Because
the
think
future.
about when you had us, right? Like there was no fucking camera like when you guys had us. No,
we had cameras.
no.
I was like, hold on.
You talking like that came from
We had cameras. We had cameras shaking like a Polaroid.
Nah, these motherfuckers, the Flintstones.
Yeah, we were
They woke up in the morning.
Cameras like.
Why did everybody start laughing?
You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, that was funny. Flintstones, that was great stuff, guys.
Now you gonna have the fucking headset
fucking take
on. We
it off,
almost
sure.
played it off until
No,
you
we're good. I don't
came
think
back.
Hey, our podcast is real.
Are we good on the color
touch that
chart?
fucking-
We're good on the
I can't
recording.
see. I
hopefully.
can't see potato, but
hold
it's recording right now, so it's fine.
Yeah, no.
All right,
Sorry, folks. Little
let's go.
technical difficulties.
Yeah.
We
back?
live.
We in the new
live.
studio up here. you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. Anyways, if
Back-
anyone's
what
ever
the
anyone's ever using fucking voice meter potato, there's a solo button.
That
If ever,
mutes
if ever, it
everything.
mutes all your shit.
Yeah.
We learned that the hard way.
Yeah, make sure you fucking turn that shit off. All right.
So what was your last question? Your last
Slavery.
question was about slavery. Don't know anything about that.
Cam was acting as if they
I
from the
know what we missed.
1800s. What?
So the cameras fucking that's what got cut off.
Yeah, when you start
that-
talking about cameras,
that
and they were
camera
like, "Yeah,
bullshit.
we had cameras."
Yeah,
back
we
then.
had
Yeah, we had cameras, but what was you
No,
asking
that's
about?
do you think that raising a kid nowadays, like you're more like open to judgment from other parents?
I think every parent's on the same page. So
'Cause back
when
in
you
the
see
day,
a
like,
kid with a
usually-
cell phone, it's like, oh, my kid does that too. So I mean, you always have skeptics out there, like that one church lady or that one person saying, "Oh, that's the devil." Blah 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 blah. Do you agree? Or
You know
disagree?
what?
You always have that one person that always.
What I've noticed as a parent now with young kids, everybody tells me what I should do. And half these motherfuckers don't have kids.
As a parent, that don't have parents.
They don't have kids, but they're like,
they're giving you advice.
It's like and I'm like, I know you think that'll work, but like
criticism.
Yeah, realistically, that shit doesn't work, man. Like that's not how kids function. That's not how the world is. That's just not how it is. Even myself, before I had kids, I thought, I'm not gonna put the iPad in their face, this and the other. But then ultimately, I look back and look at who I am. I do that shit all the time. Like I'll play video games. I got the TV, got the this, and I do that because I enjoy it. How can I get mad at my son for enjoying it as well? Or my daughter.
Like raising kids is universal. Let me give you for instance. Like
what?
when you were coming up, the whole big thing about Grand Theft Auto, right? Everybody said don't let your kids. I let him play that.
I played the shit out.
All the time.
I was trying to see some titty, boy.
All the time. But
It's called the library.
I didn't care because I knew where he came from. I know he's not gonna. Because he had to deal with me, so you know what I mean. So it's.
So are you saying like in the safety of your own home under supervision, you can explain stuff to your child as he's playing, so he understands what it is?
Yes, but
It's
I
not
think
baby powder.
I think you got to know who your kid is too.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Oh,
If they can
wait.
handle it. If they can handle it.
Let me throw something else on top of
your
that.
kid can't
There's
handle
also kids that get ass whoopings, you see, and those ass whoopings, you remember those, and you're like, well, shit. This happened in a video game, but you know that ain't real life. I shouldn't do that in real life because there's an ass whooping that might come with it.
You know what's weird to me though is like maybe it's just like how my brain works or like you know what I mean. But like I've never played Grand Theft Auto and it was like, oh, I want to go kill bitches.
Yeah,
never in my life, not a single day when I'd play it and I would kill people or like you do the missions or whatever, and then when you turn it off, it's like it's not like you just fucking
I'm gonna go kill somebody.
Some murderous fucking brain kicks in.
Like you said, it depends on the child.
Yeah.
Because my 13-year-old JoJo,
he's a psychopath.
He's really
he's a psychopath.
He's a great kid. Okay. Obviously, me and his mother got divorced, so he's learning from two different households.
Yeah.
Right.
Of course, I'm the father. I give him more freedom. His mom's more strict, and like in most cases, it's normal.
Hey, that's normal as fuck.
Totally normal.
You don't think so?
It depends on the mother.
It depends on the father. Because I think I was more strict.
What? Really?
Yeah.
What?
I think I was more strict. I think I was more strict. I think I was more strict on certain things. Like for instance, you wanted to do something. Okay, I'll give you for instance. You when you graduated, you wanted to go to Florida.
Yeah.
I mean, you wanted to go.
Fuck.
You wanted to go.
Got locked up. Everybody went to jail.
But I was like,
God.
he didn't go because I said he wasn't going.
Yeah.
And I said that's
said
not a good
hell no.
idea.
First of all, what did they get locked up for? And if you were there, would you have got locked up too?
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
It's
the
Glover.
Okay.
I was the first one locked up talking about, I'm not fucking going. My dad don't leave me down here.
And so I think I kind of instilled more in him.
So that was a win for dad.
But I had a lot of wins like that. Like,
Okay, that's excellent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's just the way I grew up, and it was stuff I wasn't putting up with.
Yeah, I want to talk
Yeah.
about dad failures and dad's achievements as well because we
talk
all
about
have
that.
them, and that's
Absolutely.
called experience.
Absolutely.
Like
Yeah.
I was getting back to my 13-year-old son JoJo. I probably give him more freedom than others because his mom's so strict. So I feel like, oh, I'm Disneyland. Come to my house, have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But there was one incident a few months ago where Metro Police were involved. So basically, he was talking about suicide and other derogatory things to his friends online because when he plays his games, there's a lot of different kids around the world or whatever.
They trolling is what's happening.
Yeah. Well, one kid had an open mic at his house, and his parents were listening in on the conversation, and they were actually locally, and basically they called Metro Police Department and told them, "Hey, we got a suicidal kid online with my kid." So
Because that shit ain't taken lightly no more.
It-
Like, it's not
not at
never
all.
Really
Yeah,
should have
yeah.
been, but
not
it
even a
is.
video game or even if it's said out loud, it's something like spotlights on you. So long story short, I got a phone call from Metro telling me to meet him at his mother's house. So
You like, what happened?
I was like, what happened?
Yeah, you're like,
What the hell
Yeah,
I'm here for?
like,
Why
hey-
the cops calling?
Oh,
yeah,
they
like
called you?
Disneyland just closed right now. You
Yeah.
guys got to leave the park. You know, that's pretty much how. And I was nervous as a father because I'm like, wow, like
Like how did this
like,
happen?
how am I going to explain myself?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
freedom is only goes
But
so
didn't
far.
that happen at like 1 a.m.? Wasn't it like super late?
It was late, but
Yeah.
the next day I got the phone call, and basically, so I drove him over to his mom's house. Said, "Hey, before we get here, I'm gonna let you know there's 2 Metro officers, and they want to talk to you about something." And he got red in the face, he got nervous, and when we got there, the 2 officers pulled me to the side and said, "Sir, it's a concern. Your son was talking about suicide and, blah, 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 and more other like pornography type stuff because he cusses like a sailor. And I don't know, that's another subject. Are you good with your kids cussing?
It was a certain
and
age.
at what age?
I know, because I'll tell you about the first time, the little break story in the middle of your story.
Let me pause you for 1 second.
Right,
Long story short, it was just a slap on the wrist, but now he's on like this monitoring system. So like his name's in the database.
Yeah. So it's one of them things that like,
but it really hurt me as a parent because I'm thinking like, wow, do I have to like be more strict now?
do I have to change
Or
what
do I
I've
have
been
to
doing?
change his behavioral patterns online? Now I have to sit there and monitoring him, take away his.
Well, you didn't think you had to. Like,
Right.
It's like, why?
Well, if he's under my house, yeah, but
Initially, before.
But as a parent, you love your kids. You want them to have fun, explore. Hey, stay out past the streetlights, whatever, just to explore the world a little bit. But now it's online. Now there's more ears and parents
Open
are listening
mics
in.
at houses and shit.
Yeah,
Like,
and maybe
so with that same question, with that, do you think everybody else being involved in that, is that good or bad?
my son goes over the limit a lot, and me and my wife now we listen to him once in a while, and I have to like knock on the door and say, hey, come on, man, like you're cussing worse than me, like worse than like Andrew Dice Clay. I mean, this kid is like has a sailor mouth. It's F this, C words. I mean, he goes
deep.
And so I have to like say, hey, I'm gonna cut it off, man.
But then see, a lot of people, this is what I hate. A lot of people will refer that, will say that comes from playing video games. Like that's
it is.
That's the
No,
attitude.
see, and I
But
don't think it's
not
from video games.
It's the
could be-
community.
No, it's
depends
a
on
community,
what-
Yeah.
It's the toxic people
'Cause if-
that
'cause
do
if you're
play
playing-
video
It's
games.
the environment. It could be the environment in the household. Like if your mom and dad and they cuss and they're partying, having fun, you're picking up the words. But I honestly think it's gaming.
No,
it's the other kids.
No,
I
hold
can't
on,
say
so
kids.
yeah.
He's
the
talking
other
like he's
kids.
talking to three gamers. Yeah, hold on. There you go.
It's the other kids on the other side.
It's the community of gaming.
If I pick up the phone and say F this, F this,
I'ma
F
say-
this, F this, F this, your kid's gonna
All
finally say
right,
F
check
this.
this out though.
What do you
Check
think?
this out, because I grew up when gaming first started. From
Yeah.
until now. So with that being said, I think it's cultural differences because I'm gonna tell you why. My dad let me start the F this and F that.
Boom.
My father knocked me out one time, and that's all it took. I'm talking about out.
Yo, but let me premise this with how big this motherfucker
Bro.
is, though.
Bro.
Like, he was big as fuck.
Grandpa?
Like,
I'm a big
bigger than
dude.
you?
he's
Yes.
smaller
Oh
than my
my
grandpa, and he was
God.
like big slave big. Like,
Yeah, I'm talking about-
We talking about
So-
like the Green Mile?
Yes.
it was some big ass fucking head. This
So-
dude was 65.
so
he
I'ma
wore
say-
jean shorts and a straw hat and no shirt. And some
I'ma
boots.
say this.
the Green
Oh my
Mile.
Scary
God.
shit.
I'm gonna say this.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I think we go down to. I think it comes to back to the parents because I know when I'm in a room of people gaming, they F this, F that. Okay, listen, I'm not doing that because my father, if he heard that, my father be like, "Come here," and he would knock me cold out. I ain't talking about I'm gonna take your Xbox. None of that,
Open
bro.
hand or
It's like,
Nah,
boom.
closed hand, open hand,
Wow.
hand. He felt like it's not. It didn't work like that, and so I knew that, right?
Yeah.
So that didn't even enter my mind, bro. I had choices in my life. Do I do this? Do I do this? Nah, my pop's gonna knock me out, man.
I think
Out
he's
of your
kind. I think
mind.
he's kind of right because
Oh
there's
my
some shit I
God.
didn't do because I didn't know what was gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like I just didn't know what was gonna
Yeah,
happen.
because
I didn't know, I'm not willing to roll the dice.
But if
Thank
you're
you.
a parent,
Thank
if you're
you.
a parent,
Thank you for
and-
not hitting me.
But listen,
You remember the belt, right?
Oh,
But
that was
listen, if you're
terrifying.
a
Never mind. I
parent-
got a scar on my ass.
but if you're a parent and there's no consequence to your children gonna do anything they want.
Yeah,
they don't care.
yeah,
They're
yeah.
like,
But what if your
I think it's-
children know that it's bad,
I've-
but they're online with new people they're trying to press, like Ninja
I will defend
or whoever
yeah.
the gamer,
I'll
hot
de- I'll
gamers
defend-
are.
What's that say? That say. All right, hey guys, thank you for taking that short little technical break. That was only like a minute, not even like a millisecond for you guys, but we're back now. And yeah, so anyways, as I was saying, so defending him is like, I think the game, like, if you look, like he has done a really good job as a father, like saying like, shut up, stop fucking cursing, all that stuff, you know.
Stop
But
fucking
Without the-
cursing.
without the
but
F
his,
word.
but his friends, but his friends, like JoJo's friends are just like so toxic,
But
and
it's
they're
that
like
whole
so
generation.
immature and so fucking.
It's like them. Like it's not. They'll get on right now. And the last time I played Call of Duty, I got a dub.
oh my
with
God.
Warzone. First thing I heard from Mexican, George Floyd.
yeah. Like
How the fuck
right,
you on black? 1, 2. What they got to do?
You see my flat nose?
Yeah, like what the fuck they got to do with anything in this right now?
My
dog?
daddy's Daryl Strawberry.
but I don't think nowadays kids have consequences. I know we had consequences when I was coming up. I think that's a part of it.
do you
personally.
think it? So do you, consequences? What do you mean by that? Like
You do something wrong, there's something that comes with that.
But now, if you hit your kid, they know how to do 911. They start throwing that stuff like, I'm going to call the police on you.
So
they've been doing it for a long time.
Let me give you another perspective of that. I'm a cop. Been a cop for a long time.
That didn't work at my house, y'all.
So I'm a cop. Been a cop for a long time. So I'm gonna give y'all a quick scenario. We had a kid. We had some guys that they stole a bike. Some kids that stole a bike. Right.
Dumb.
So,
like who kid?
They was kids.
Some random kids?
Some random kids. One of my calls, some kids stole the bike.
That's what I was saying.
Kids stole the bike. So we called their dad, right? Hey, dad, two of your boys, they stole this bike. And the dad was like, I'm on my way.
Ooh,
all right?
Yeah.
So dad got there, and I said, Dad was going to beat their ass right there. I said, well, Dad,
let us drive away
you
first.
You can't do that right now. But after we give you what we got to give you, do what you do. So we did what we did. We released the kids to him. He went across the street and he had a van. And that van was rocking.
Wow.
And
whooping ass.
Guess what we did?
Drove away.
See you later.
Have a good day,
because you can say that, parents can't be parents. Well, we're going to let you be a parent because we don't want the problem.
Yeah.
So if you can alleviate my problem, I'm down.
Yeah, and I think
that's a misconception.
I think it's different.
Do you think that's most cops?
Because yes, I do think I do think that's most cops. Because the cops that came that dealt with Bubba's situation, shout out to Bubba, they were like, "Hey, Sarge, what you want us to do?" That's what they said to me.
Yeah,
what you want us to do? It's like, do what y'all do. They was like, bet. I think it's most cops. I think that's a stigma that people think.
Do you think it's a stigma based off of like just the fear of the unknown? Almost is like because you've never had the situation happen. So if you haven't had it happen,
and it does happen. You can get in trouble because it is assault if you're beating on your kid like that.
But what if
what's child abuse and what's discipline?
Well,
open hand, closed hand. Is that like a?
Well, they did invent something called a phone book.
There you go.
Phone books don't leave bruises.
Yeah, you go.
They don't leave marks or bruises.
That's an old people shit.
That's
an old people shit.
It's a lot of power.
Their parents used to say that shit to them all the time.
It's true, though. I think the way you raise your kid, though, if your kid knows that there's going to be a consequence, I think they'll think twice before they do something.
And half the time, I feel like you wouldn't even have to, like, it doesn't get to that point.
Because he can tell you. He can be like, nah, I'm not doing that.
There was a lot of shit
with me, I was raised on, flippers, slippers, and belts.
Yeah.
So with him, he was the golden child.
Yeah.
Under his older brother, that was my stepson.
Yeah.
And when his younger brother came along, he was getting jealous because we still have videos that show him trying to outshine his little brother.
Yeah.
And basically,
and Jaron too, getting hella jealous.
Absolutely. So you almost felt like a middle child.
I am
actually Gavin was the middle child.
Yeah.
And but when he would act up, I'd have to get the belt out as a hey. But he would go above and beyond and try to outrun the old man.
My thing is, see, this thing too is like, I would defend Gavin. Because like, my thing is like, I didn't want Gavin to get hit. So I'd like run. So I'd take him away from Gavin. So I'd be like, here we go, boy. And I like,
he would backpack his brother. Like Dora the Explorer shit.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no.
It's a 2-for-1 in this bitch.
I used to get a 44 belt, boy. So that shit was stretched.
It was like he fucking, I would
Wonder Woman that ass.
I have a mark on my ass still. There's just one time I was...
I tried to leap the couch.
So close. Yeah. I was so close.
Yeah, no.
I was so close.
I'd measure that shit
Gavin jumped, made it inside. Like, because the couch was like catty cornered in the corner, so you could dive behind it. Gavin made it, and then I'm like, diving. I was like, dude, I was probably like a fucking inch.
He knew when he left the ground, he wasn't
going to make it. The fucking belt, and the buckle side hit me. God. Fucking hit my ass, and I just right in the wall was like...
Your Honor, there was no buckle involved. I couldn't afford buckles back then. Okay? It was Velcro.
I tell you, it hit my ass and I saw my soul fucking fly.
And I hit the soul too. I was like, man, get back here. You know what I'm saying?
But do you?
Oh my God.
Do you think
it worked?
Because Cameron came out. I don't know you very well, Cameron. You came out pretty good.
I'm chilling,
but you think that had a lot to do with it?
Yeah, at the time.
The freeze. He said, I just started floating off and shit. Can you repeat the question, please?
Do you think that the way you raised him, the way you disciplined him, the way you nurtured him, that had a lot to do with who he is today?
The amount of time I had him, because they did move to Seattle when he was in his...
I was 13.
13. And basically it was back and forth. Like I'd go visit him every year. But I think the time that I had with them, I think the fear that his mother put into him, plus the love I gave him, the combination, that's who he is today.
I get my when you compliment a person and you have like, you're like, oh wow, you're so outgoing. Oh, you're so fun. Like you love everyone. Blah blah blah. I get that from him.
Credit.
Like that's all him.
Credit, babe.
Yeah.
Credit.
Or, like when
Andrea. Credit. That's the X.
Throwing shots.
Big time.
When it comes to like the like military shit, I guess Brian put me into the military. So Brian's my stepdad.
Yeah.
So when it comes to like discipline and like I guess growing up, basically, I get that from Brian. But that's just because Brian kind of like, I wouldn't say forced me to grow up, but like was like, hey, you're a man. Like be a man.
And to give props to Brian, we had like one little misunderstanding where it wasn't physical, but it was almost like the pre-promotion fight pictures, like right in the face.
That was because
in front of your house.
Hold on, I remember that. I went upstairs and cried for like 4 hours. Yeah. So that wasn't his fault.
I drove away like, oh my god, thank you didn't hit me. Yeah, thank you didn't hit me.
No, but that wasn't Mom, or that wasn't Brian.
That was Brian in my face.
No, I know Brian was in your face, but that was mainly Mom like pushing his ass to do it. Right. Yeah. Well, my mom plays like puppeteer behind the curtain.
She used to fuel behind the fire.
Oh fuck yeah! My mom's an amazing woman. I love her, but we both know she has her little like devil side, just like I do. That's
just in case she watches the podcast.
Yeah. Absolutely. I love you, but yeah, I'm saying she's an amazing woman. But we all have our like problems with ourselves and stuff, and she has like that's her one thing. She like fuels the fire, and then just kind of like.
And she's a comforter. She's like the comforter after. Does that make sense? So she'll start the fire and then and try to put it out.
She'll beat your ass and then come in and be like, "What's wrong, honey?
Calm down. Don't need to be all there. You fucking what?
You're like, hold on, we're fighting.
You look around like, what happened? You remember 20 minutes ago?
I've always been the peaceful guy.
Yeah.
And
I get my pacifist.
Yeah, she put me out there as like the bad father. Blah blah blah. That famous word.
That's like pulling your
dad.
card. That's pulling your card in credit and everything.
The day my kid's been born, I've lived for them. Yeah. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I mean, I've had jobs.
I tell people this too is
I've done everything.
When you're a kid, you don't see shit. Like you see it, but all you see is like, oh, my dad didn't show up. Oh, he didn't do this.
My dad got something to say about that. As soon as you said that, he looked at me.
But it's kind of like,
is that a tear, sir?
As I grew up, I realized I was like, damn, if I was in his shoe, I probably would dip too. Like it was a hard time.
So Cameron, since you brought that up,
I used to get beat too.
EJ used to.
This is a true story.
Because I work all the time.
Who's EJ? Who's EJ?
Eric Jr. Eric Jr.
That's my favorite.
We got a new nickname.
So Eric, he used to be like Dax. He was all over Rover. And he used to say, because I work nights. I've been working nights for 30 years, right?
Damn, that's him too.
Because I used to have to be with them in the daytime.
We got like the same life and shit.
Right.
Yeah.
You see
I'm seeing this shit.
I even lost one kid during that time.
So
What happened?
Working graveyard and stuff like that, you're extremely tired. When you come home, the wife goes to work.
Thank you for saying that. Thank you.
Not to interrupt you, kind sir.
No, thank you for saying that.
But I basically work so much, and then you have to be like stay awake for at least 4 to 5 hours.
Yeah.
So
wait for
when it's time for their nap. No, when it's time for their nap,
you crash
she
out
don't
with
get home till 3 or 4 or 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, this one right here. We had my older son at the time. His elementary school is like 2 miles away, but I used to walk him to school every day. So when I get home, I'd walk him to school, drop him off with the kids.
Oh, Beatty?
Yeah. And then, so one morning I was like,
zoned out.
I was
barely
zoned out.
making it.
I set the house up, but the only thing I forgot to do was lock the front door.
Yeah.
So I was like,
at Rocky Park?
Yeah, we went to lay down, and he escaped.
It was my fault.
He wasn't tired.
This is my thing. I ran away a lot as a kid. Like McDonald's, I ran away. Some black dude brought me back. My mom was giving me a bath. Hopped out of the bathtub, butt ass naked with like a fucking soap afro and shit. Ran down the street, butt ass naked.
This got black real quick.
not a bad thing. But like I ran down the neighborhood again. A black dude brought me back. Like and like it was like.
But to get to the story, it wasn't a runaway situation. He just wanted to go to his brother's school.
Yeah.
But I was knocked out. I was tired because it was nap time. I thought that's what we use. It's a routine every single day. We all take a nap. So, but he ran out the door. So I wake up from the nap. I'm like,
he's gone.
What the fuck? I don't hear no noise.
Cameron.
I was like,
and then my heart starts beating. I'm like, Cameron. Then it goes a mean voice like, Cameron, where you at? You're gonna get whipped with the belt. I'm talking to myself at this point. So the door was cracked, and I was like,
oh no,
worst nightmare ever.
Oh,
I can't even explain it. It's the worst nightmare. It's like losing your kid at a carnival or something. So basically, I just went into stress mode, and I just ran out the front door, and I just said, where could he run? Where could he be? I mean, I didn't know anything. So I just started basically going towards the school. I don't know how I saw this white figure
Bitch,
with my
white.
child
just before the
left turn to the school, which if I was maybe 3 or 4 or 5 seconds like coming
You
around
wouldn't have
that
saw
corner,
me. You wouldn't have saw me.
I wouldn't have saw him. Yeah. But they hit that dip, and I said, "Oh my gosh!" So I was like, "Man, just running my fastest." Caught up with this guy. Luckily, I don't know if he was like a neighborhood walker, kind of walk your dog type of guy, or is he a pedophile, or I don't know what it was. But he had Cameron. He's like, "Oh, is this your child?" And I'm like, "Yeah, dude."
I would have been like, "Yeah, where
then
you
I
going
went
with
to
him?"
gangster mode. I was like, "Yeah, man, that's my goddamn kid, man." Like, woo! Long story short, just took him back home, and I was like, "Dang, God."
Your ass was awake then.
I went to Home Depot up there. I got like 4 locks, like
All the ones you can put in.
alarm systems. Yeah. So that's scary, man.
So I'm glad you
Sorry
said
about
that.
that.
No, I'm glad you said that because
I ain't run away, did I?
Dad failure.
He should tell all his teachers and stuff that his dad sleeps all day and he doesn't take
a
care
bad
of
move
me
on
and
my
all that
part,
stuff.
yeah.
So the teacher called me. I'm like, what?
You're like,
Bad
bitch, I
move.
work nights.
Yeah. And he used to do that, and that was just so difficult. And you got to stay up all day. You got to, and
Yeah.
like you now, right?
Yeah.
you work nights, but you
100%.
got
Who gets off working Trees Coffee?
Right, but
You know what I'm saying? Us. These
So
guys.
now he calls me. He's like, "I'm so sorry." You know,
I tell him all the time I was a bastard. I'm a bastard and I
so
shouldn't have
sorry.
done it.
But
I apologize.
He gets it. He
Well,
gets
that's
it.
the thing is like too is like I talked a lot of shit about my dad, but that's only because like my mom fueled that shit. Not like talk shit, but you know, like now that I look back on it, I was like,
Yeah.
I told you
why
because
not-
we
why
had that adult conversation where you said, "Dad,
yeah.
like, wow, like,
Yeah, I cried.
I'm
Oh,
sorry."
yeah, yeah.
He's like, "Yeah, my son apologized." He's like,
Yeah.
"I'm sorry, but a lot of things that I thought went this way, it went
Yeah.
that way in your
We
favor."
had a
I'm
lot
like,
of
"Yeah,
that.
dude, I'm
No,
trying to explain to you."
that's another thing I like being an adult now because like you have those like talks with your
And you can
pops,
have
you know?
almost your opinion that's validated
Yeah.
by your thoughts and like
yeah.
what you see.
and stuff that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Be like, that's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. I've heard him tell his mother, that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
No, my mom said something. Yeah, my mom would be like, she's like, what'd she fucking say? She's like, oh yeah, your dad was working and couldn't take it, like blah 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 this weekend, and like always be shit, like he doesn't come pick you up. And I'm like, hold on, rewind. You said he was working this weekend? I was like, no, yeah, of course he's not gonna fucking. I'm like, what am I gonna do? Sit at home? You know, like in my head, I was like, okay, that's like a valid reason he can't come get me. Like I don't know. It's just like there's a lot of times where I was like, yeah, but like I would have been stressed out in that situation, and like maybe I would have needed a weekend. Or
Yeah,
some
mad
shit.
props to all the parents that work graveyard, then go home, take care of your household, then go back to
it's
work
fucking-
a few hours later. It's
Appreciate it. But
and I think
Yeah, he does it now.
our
Yeah.
theme song is the on the night shift.
Yeah, you ain't lying.
He saw me when I was working nights at Creech. Like I would come home after a 12-hour shift and just fucking
Zombie.
stare at my wall.
Zombie.
Yeah, I was like, I could. If,
But
I,
there are
if I had
benefits
kids, I'd be like,
if you
holy fuck.
if you're healthy and you can maintain that, like you have a stay at home wife or something, like, hey honey, go to sleep for 3 hours and we'll go to
goddamn.
church, we'll go
I
out
don't
to
fucking
eat.
sleep.
But if you have two parents that are working, like right when you get home, it's like tag team, like, okay, have a good night, I love you, bye.
Straight up.
And then all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, like kids are wide awake watching cartoons, running
Man, you're
around.
exhausted.
your body like starts dying. You like, I can't do it.
You can do it for
Yeah.
about
I
2-3
gotta stay
hours,
awake.
but then
I
all of a
gotta
sudden,
stay
like,
awake.
yeah, that 10, 11,
Then you
12
just got
hits,
Then you just
you're
got to
like,
stand up in the kitchen. You just like, I guess I can't sit down
Yep.
because I'm gonna go to sleep.
yeah, it's like 2-3 showers a day, extra coffee a day.
So you've been working graveyard your entire career basically.
About 30 years.
Oh shit, he did graveyard for a long.
Take a break now, folks.
What's that?
Battery
Say?
died.
Are we back, folks? We are back live.
Amazon paid for that. All right.
Baby, fuck it. I don't care.
First and foremost, we want to drop one of our sponsors, motherfucking Canon and shit. $600 camera.
Garbage.
All right, so as you guys can see, we are doing a non-visual podcast for the rest of this. It appears that our camera has died. For the next podcast, we'll make sure that we have what charger, some USB adapters.
The shit'll work. All right.
Next
Batteries that are
podcast,
charged.
next podcast, we will have a really nice camera, and we'll have the same quality as we did this one. But
Making promises.
no, I will. I'll fucking buy that shit if I have to. And so yeah, next podcast, I'm gonna go, I told you what I said. I said I'm gonna go buy it right now. So yeah, we'll have a better camera. Anyways, enjoy the thumbnail. I'll throw up some pictures at like for conversations and stuff, so it still changes and stuff. But for now, it'll probably just be this. I'm probably just gonna do the studio background. And then on the TV, it'll still change and
With
shit.
no people there, though.
With no people, it'll just be an empty fucking chair.
That's fine.
Anyways,
Back to
so
sleepy
Yeah,
graveyard
fucking
workers.
30 years.
30 years of graveyard shift. You said.
Yeah, 30 years of graveyard shift.
Yeah.
That's it.
So we basically give respect to all the graveyard parents out there that are working split
do
shifts.
you think how? Ooh, this could be controversial.
What?
Do you think it's harder for a dad or a mom in raising parents, like raising kids?
Like you saying in the same
From an
house or if
outside
it's separate
perspective.
houses?
That's such a big one, though.
Yeah,
outside-
that's
I don't-
I don't think you can.
From
I
an
don't think
outside
you can.
perspective.
If you have
I
a
don't-
very organized father, that's very like.
No.
I don't think you
I'm not talking about
Or you
raising
have
the
like
kid.
a kid father.
No.
Are you talking about-
I'm not talking about raising the kid. I'm not talking about any
You
of
better
that.
pick your words.
I'm
Why-
talking-
I know, man.
Other people listen to this shit.
I know. I said
know.
it's controversial.
All the
So
dads got a
what I'm saying is, do you think it's harder for a man, like for men, right, to be parents and stuff? Because as men, we have to like hide our emotions and hide all that shit and just be like the man of the house and like do all that stuff. No, maybe, I mean, different households.
I'm gonna tell you how it is.
Shit.
If your relationship's healthy, it's easy.
You should be able to explain.
Because y'all work with each other.
You work with each
Yeah.
other.
You
It's a
make it work.
team.
You compliment where the other person lets off.
Absolutely.
That's just what it is.
Yeah.
But if one dad is like a sorry, fellas. If you have one dad's like a gamer and he comes home and jumps on the gamer and your
he
kids
get
are
all
lighting
of it.
fires in the living room.
You talking about heavy?
I'm
Like
just
heavy
saying, like a
gamer?
heavy
Can't fucking-
gamer that
yeah.
you know, the wife's out of the house. She's always nagging me about playing games. Now it's my free time. Kids, eat what you want. Drink a bag of sugar. I'm playing my game. I mean, it happens.
But even if that was a woman,
Comical.
who did that, if
Yeah.
a woman,
Yeah, what if it
did
was a
that,
woman?
that's just bad parenting. Period.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I don't think it's labeled tied to like sex necessarily.
Sex, yeah.
Whether you're a good parent or bad parent, it all comes down to what
Character.
'Cause I
It's
always-
who you
I
are as a
always-
character.
who the
Yeah,
hell you
That's
are.
what I was gonna say. I was gonna agree with that because well, from my perspective, I mean, I don't have kids, of course, but I always hear that like I feel like dads get like moms are always praised, and then dads like always get shit. From my
I mean,
perspective,
let me
from an
tell you
outside
a little
perspective.
secret, okay? Man cave. Have you ever heard of a mom cave? No, because a man cave is.
I heard of a she shed last week.
Have you?
She
Do you
shed?
know what
She
that is?
shed?
Yeah, she
She
shed
said
is a-
what?
It's a woman's man cave, basically. It's
Like, huh?
It's a big
It's a
ass
woman's-
shed that is the
Like a
equivalent
bar?
to
Like
a
home
man
and garden
cave.
type thing?
No, it's a fucking full on like house outside of the house that you could just do whatever fuck you want to.
So it's cheaters headquarters as well.
It's a thing. These are the things. I didn't know this was a thing, and it's more popular in the European
But I don't
country.
think. But I don't think women. And this could be controversial too.
I'm sorry, I
I
don't
don't
feel like
think.
I'm sitting next to Timberland and shit.
I don't think.
Can I get a contract, man?
I don't think women.
Timberland.
I don't think women in general.
I need a contract.
Dog, that's you.
No, I ain't even joking right now. Everybody tell you that?
You do look
Yeah,
at-
people tell
You
me
look
all
like
the time.
Timberland and Strawberry had a baby. Daryl Strawberry. Hey man, let's do this. It's a new thing.
But look, I don't think women in general like to do the stuff that we do, like the man cave stuff.
Yeah, true.
Women, like, I'll use my wife for instance.
But they'd rather
my
have, like, a
wife,
walk-in
my
closet
wife
and
could
shit.
care less about a man cave. She
Yeah.
don't care. She ain't into that.
Notice he has the fucking craziest one. That's why.
Yeah,
he
But-
says
his
that.
man cave's nice as
But you
fuck.
would think she'd hang out down. No, she don't hang. She can care less.
She never comes in there.
No, bro.
Wow.
Only come down there to look for me to tell me to go do
Go
something.
do something. Yeah.
She doesn't hang
So
out
what do
down
women do? Like, what does your wife do?
there.
say
Bitch,
shit like
no,
that.
I'm just kidding.
Don't say shit like that.
I'm just kidding.
Don't do
What do
that.
women do? What do women do? I don't know.
He not a woman.
Is this thing on? I think it all
mic
comes down to
disconnect?
space, man. It's all about space. I mean,
Yeah.
in a healthy relationship, you have to give your partner space.
Yeah.
I don't care if it's to go play baseball or go to the salon,
Yeah.
go to the thrift store. Just space is so important in a relationship. And if you don't have it, that's when things go bad. That's all I'm saying.
What do you
marriage.
think from? I was just gonna say
too,
that.
third marriage.
I was just gonna
Third
say
marriage
that.
would be too.
So being on your third marriage, both of you, how does it affect? What do you think was like the pros and cons? I guess, or like something that you look back on and you're like, oh, I should have done better there.
You
Or
know,
she should have done better there.
There may be a lot of people out there looking down on people that are married multiple times, but it's just like going to school. Okay, you have to go to first grade, you have to go to second grade, you have to go to third grade. It's all learning experience, and by the time you hit a third wife, you're a pro at marriage. And not to backpedal any prior relationship, but you need experience because there's no handbook that comes with marriage.
Right.
Most
say
people
that
marry out
again.
of lust. They marry, it's like, oh, it's my first one,
No, it's
or
just-
desire, or sex, and then after that, first year's over, it's like, oh, okay, what do we do now? I mean, in some cases, you know what I'm saying?
Y'all don't think you're old enough to know what you want. Like, I got married at 21, 22.
Me too.
Oh my
me too.
God.
We're
Way too-
identical.
Way too early.
I tell Gavin
That's
this
way
all the
too
time.
early.
We have the same lives.
That's way too early. That's too early, in my opinion.
What do you
Because you
think?
don't know anything.
What age do you think is the most appropriate age to get married?
30 something.
Yeah, 30 and above, because
30,
at that point,
yeah.
you've already outlived your clubs, your drugs, your rock and roll.
This first time I ever meet your dad. We said that in tandem, right?
Yeah,
it's
I heard
30
that.
something. It has nothing because you don't know anything,
Right.
Yeah.
And people at different stages of their lives at different times, right? So when I was 20 something, I thought I was supposed to be married and I was supposed to have kids. That's not necessarily true, bro.
Yeah.
That doesn't work, bro.
I don't like it. I don't like that. I don't like that fucking
but at the same time, too, I'm glad I did now because now my kids are grown.
Yeah.
And I don't have to worry about, small kids and everything. Like you said, your brother, 45, bro, God bless him. Shout out to him.
Yeah, Josh.
Shout out to Josh.
Little
But
brother Josh.
I couldn't do that at
First
40
baby.
some years old having a infant.
baby?
Man, you
Oh,
must be
hell.
out your mind. I couldn't even wrap my mind around
I will. So I will say, Josh, though, dude, he's so fucking fit. Like, if you look at Josh, he's
a yoga
45.
instructor.
He's 45.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's
All
like,
yoga
he's like
instructors-
18. He's like
all
20
yoga
by
instructors
like
swole as
by his
fuck
like
and
health
just
and his
keep doing
body
it.
and shit. He's
No
like
fat
20.
on his body.
And that's fantastic. But his mind has to go along with that. I hope
That's
his
gonna be-
mind is
yeah,
young
no,
because when your
no.
mind, because those kids, man.
I'm so glad the video's off. You can't see my mannerisms.
I can't really relate to stuff like a kid.
Yeah.
Like a small child.
No, I
don't know.
Yeah.
See, this is where I think differently.
But you're-
because I got married younger, like around the same age my father is talking about. And
But when you turn 50, you'll have this conversation also.
Well,
You
the
think-
funny
oh,
thing
how about
is,
this? How
I
about
have to
this?
jump in
Do you
here. Sorry,
think-
guys, but I'm 47 and I'm still trying to get my third
Yeah.
wife pregnant. Why? Because I love her and she's always wanted to be a mother.
She's wanted a
and
kid, yeah.
The best gift a man can give a woman is a seed.
Right.
To a certain, just the one you love. So right now, I have
give out plenty seeds. You know what
I'm saying?
You ain't got to grow that with
Johnny Appleseed for
When I was
nothing.
overseas, I must have been a fucking
You know what I'm saying?
all the time and saying it himself.
But the thing I'm saying is I'm going on 6 years with my wife. 4 year, our 4 year anniversary is coming up July 17th, and that's the only thing
Damn.
I do when I see 11:11 on the clock, or anytime I have a chance to make a wish. It's always, God, just let me get that magic seed into my wife so she can have a baby.
Yeah.
Because that is her biggest dream since she was a
How
little
old
girl.
is
But
she?
watch this. How old is your wife?
She'll be 40 on December
Your
3rd.
wife's pretty young though,
Yeah.
and I get that because that's what she. I get that.
But do you understand where I'm coming from? So
I do.
I almost feel like it's a responsibility, but the other part of it, I love kids. I'm
He
like,
does. My dad is a good, like, he loves being a father.
I love doing everything.
Can you repeat that real quick? What was the last part?
Yeah. What was that?
You say you love what?
Kids?
I'm audio clip that. He said, I love kids.
No, I love the kids. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But like I said, I mean, especially tax time, Let's keep that in there. Thanks, Biden.
But no, I think that it ultimately, just like that too, it comes out to the person you are. Because looking at my path and my marriage and stuff like that, it was earlier, but at the same time, for me, I feel as though it's when it needed to be. Because the stuff my dad was doing, I was doing earlier in a different way. If you get what I'm saying. So it's like, it's shit he don't even know I've done in this lifetime.
But it's shit you don't know I've done too.
Yeah, but
It's probably a lot of shit.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
but
My
what I'm
dad
saying,
too,
what I'm
but-
getting
How
at
you
is
think we bought that house in the Hamptons? Cop life.
but then it became like a point where like
It's a-
now my ambition changed to like I wanted a house at a certain point. I wanted this and I wanted this.
Yeah.
And I just it's this life that I want for myself. I think it depends on the person.
Do you
is
think
what I'm
his
saying.
100%? Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Because I mean, you find people that were married at like 17 and then been together for 50 years.
Yeah.
But it's
West
like,
Virginia.
what do you think? Do you think his
my
marriage,
mama.
comparing to like the 3 that you've been in, do you think his is like the foundational ground for like your third one? Or
And do you
second
also
one?
agree that it's good to have experience?
Yeah.
Yes, but to answer your question, I don't know. I would hope and pray,
Yeah.
because Katie's great and all that. But about his mom, I thought the same thing.
Oh, when you were first. Okay.
Yeah.
Was that your first marriage, Eric?
Yeah,
His mom? Okay.
his mom. It was the same thing, and I thought that was my forever wife. You know,
Was that your first marriage?
Excuse me?
My mom?
Absolutely.
Did you know that you
I was
her-
in love with your mom. That was my first love, my
Yeah,
first kids, my first
exactly.
marriage,
Did you
my
know my
first
mom-
house, my first car,
Sorry, Mom.
everything.
first
All your
everything.
Shout out to my mom real quick. When I was in basic training, I like fucking discovered she had like another husband before you.
Absolutely.
You were her second marriage, right?
I was her third
She
marriage.
didn't marry Jay.
She married one guy for like 6 months.
California.
And then Jay.
She didn't marry Jay.
Jay Dorshik. Or Jay Gurnis.
Yo,
Jay's dad-
this fucking
they
story. I
didn't
never
marry-
heard this story before.
So,
y'all.
Yeah.
so when I was in basic training, I like called. You know, after your when you get your SCI clearance, you have to call and like get your whole fucking marriage and shit, like your mom's background. So I called my mom and I was like, "Hey, what names have you had?" And she's like, "Oh, I had Andrea Harris. That's her maiden name." And she's like, "I've had Andrea whatever the fuck."
Dorshik?
Yeah, Dorshik. And I was like, "Dorshik."
That was a marriage for
and I
like
was like
6 months.
I was
to
like,
her
"Who the
first.
fuck is that?" And she's like, "Oh, I ran away with some guy to California and got married before I met your dad." And I was like, hold on. I was like, what
You
the
in
fuck
basic
is
too.
this? Yeah.
You in basic. You can't.
I
really
can't
get
say
through
anything.
that.
Yeah, I was like, okay. Anyways, next marriage. We'll talk about this later. But yeah, I like didn't even know she had a fucking. So it's weird that your parents have like past that you.
Why is that weird?
No, it's cool. But I'm saying it's like weird to think about when you're that young because all you know is like what you've seen.
Well, you look at
See.
your mom as a
Yeah.
Barbie, like, oh, perfect mommy.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah,
everything's
and then you're
peachy.
like as you get older, you start like learning new things.
See
You're
that
like,
shit?
Oh, wow.
No,
like,
no.
They're real
that-
people.
My whole shock factor to all that was very different. Mine was very different, my dude. Because when I was coming up, so my mom has a lot of like, I guess you call it extended family. And
Yeah.
these people that she considers family.
As long
she
as it's
grew up
not
with.
personalities, we're good.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But these people are not my family. And dude, when I say that I knew the whole hood at one point.
Yeah.
And it wasn't because like this was my family, but it was because my family knew all these people.
She knew
all these
everyone?
people. And it was like hood. And he
Where was that? Where was
I
that?
did not necessarily want him in that environment.
You're talking
Yeah.
about sitting on the porch with a 40 hood?
Yeah.
darker than
Oh,
that.
way
I'm
worse.
talking way worse than that.
Oh.
We got
What? Where
Like
are
the
you
hood
from?
owned the city?
we have family members that like
town?
I can't say a part of my family.
So
Oh,
type shit. I
whoa.
was like, nah,
I didn't know
we
that.
ain't doing that.
Yeah,
And I said, you coming with me.
Where was that?
DC.
Because
Is that
I-
before
I-
police officer or after police
I was a
officer?
police, but here's the thing: the courts are so messed up for men, and this is just my opinion.
Yeah.
They awarded his mom with my 2 kids. And
Ooh, what's your opinion on that?
I think it sucks. I think
No,
it's
we'll be
messed
here
up.
for hours
Yeah,
talking
we'll
about
be here for
custody.
hours with that, and it was messed up. And
Supporting
and
podcast.
and I, I had a job. I was making decent money at the time.
Yeah.
But I don't even think she had a job, but she had a job, whatever. They like, whatever, they're going with her. I was like, that's jacked up.
She probably looked at you and said, why do I need one?
And then, right, basically. And then,
my God.
they hit me with the child support and I had to keep paying. He
And you told me that
decided,
number. It was scary.
he decided himself
yeah.
that he wanted to live with me.
Because it hit a point where I was just like,
What age?
How old were you?
I was probably like 9, 10.
Nine.
I just need to
can
be
make
with my
that
dad.
decision?
It was
No,
it didn't matter.
He
I
couldn't
was
make the
leaving.
decision.
I was like,
He
I'm not
Not
staying
until
staying
you're like
with her.
13
I need
years
to be
old.
with my dad.
13, you can make the choice.
Listen,
Yeah.
he wasn't staying with her, and that's just what it was.
Yeah.
And
Can we ask why?
Because I think if he
Yeah.
would have, if he wanted to run away, he was going to run away every day. He was just like, I'm not
That's all
staying
it was.
with you.
It's
Wow.
because
It was that bad?
It was not bad. It's that when you get told something your whole life as a child. Like, so when my father and my mother were together when I was younger, it was a big. It was a point in my life where I remember them saying, "Boys go with girls, girls go with boys."
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that's like life, right? And I'm thinking that's the deal, whatever. My dad and my mom split up. My mom didn't comes out as a lesbian woman. I'm like, okay.
Oh, wow.
I don't
What the fuck?
This will
You
be
never
a-
told me that.
This will be a
literally
paid
tell you.
podcast.
But listen,
Have your Visa and
Whoa.
MasterCard standing by. This is some juicy ass shit.
Wait, what the fuck?
No. So listen,
mom?
That's juicy,
listen,
bro.
listen,
I never
listen,
knew
listen,
that.
listen some more.
I
So
gotta call
then,
Spike Lee right now.
so then in that instance, I was like, all right, cool. I don't really know what that means. I don't know what that means, but okay, cool. And then it started to be like shown to me, and I didn't understand it, but it was more so anger directed behind it because I'm like, you told me something my whole life, and now you're telling me this. And then along with that, as a child, I assumed that meant she didn't want me. Like, you didn't actually want to have me if this is who you actually are. Like, and it's not to say that my mother doesn't love
You're
me.
her firstborn?
Yeah,
It's a whole lot to take in,
And
yeah.
I'm 9. You know what I'm saying? So
He's
I'm
9.
trying to go through all this in my head.
And then he's
And I
coming to
can't
me,
figure it
asking
out.
me questions, and I got to try to explain. I'm like, look, dude, listen.
Did this have anything to do with your divorce?
Absolutely everything to do.
So you got a divorce because she came
Because
out.
of that. Or something like that.
Kind of.
something like
Soft,
that.
long story short.
But see, my
Yeah.
thing was
That's
I
what
was
I'm
like-
saying.
My thing was because we had kids, right? And I was like, you can do what you want. Let's just raise these
Are you the
kids
oldest?
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And I got a daughter too. And I
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, let's just stay together and raise these kids.
Dude.
She was like, no, this is who I am. I was like, all right, peace.
And see
Wow.
that whole that side, I didn't see. But what I
Yeah.
did see was this is the way I was raised. This is what I was told. This is what I'm seeing. My dad's doing this. Everybody's doing this shit is not I'm not okay. And I'm trying to figure out like where the fuck is okay?
So I said, I
at?
got tired of it and was like, you coming with me. Come on.
Yeah.
Wow.
And my daughter stayed there. And my daughter was always trying to bridge the gap.
Yeah.
But the gap was too wide at that point. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? I'm not doing that.
That's how I think that's how I was with, because he was always like, again, my like mother and stepdad and stuff like kind of pushed him out. Like even at my graduation, that was a fucking hard time. It was a-
Very hard time.
yeah, that was some fucked up shit. But so anyways, like they push him out, and I was always the one that was like, oh hey, let's go see dad. Hey, let's do this, dude. Like let's do this. And even Gavin, like I mean, you guys have a good relationship now, but like when we were younger, Gavin grew up like Well, because Gavin was young when all he grew up knowing was you're a piece of shit and blah blah blah. Because my mom.
Sorry about that, folks. We had a little technical difficulties for another podcast.
Yeah, no, but
we're back
you know what I mean
live.
though, because when Gavin was growing, I grew up when I didn't
About
hear
the
that
pools,
shit.
the
No, that's what I'm
pools.
saying.
We had
We were
alien,
no,
naked
I
alien
know. That's what I'm
boys.
saying. We had a good
like,
what I'm
y'all
no,
remember
no,
that
when
shit?
Gavin got
Papa, can you hear me? I'm gonna go Yentl up in this
hey,
motherfucker.
calm down. I'm gonna get fucking copyrighted. No, what I'm saying is that Gavin, when Gavin got older, because he was young at that time. Like when you were
So
in the
Gavin had to rebuild his love for me.
no. What I'm saying is
He learned this shit right now.
yeah,
On the podcast.
he's he never
knew.
knew.
Hey, like I said, folks,
He's like crying and shit.
visa.
Yeah. No, what I'm saying is as Gavin grew older, because Gavin's even told me before, he's like, I feel like me and you have a stronger connection, and Gavin doesn't have that. But now Gavin,
He gonna call Gavin right after
Gavin
this.
said no, because Gavin,
all those
Gavin,
text messages that
Gavin-
said, "I love you, Dad." Is that
no,
bullshit?
because Gavin calls him like that again. As I said, they have a good connection
Calls me.
now. But I'm saying Gavin growing up saw me and you having a way stronger connection. But that's because I grew up with you. I grew up older with you.
Yeah, but you and I are such a.
We're the same. I know, that's what I'm saying. So Gavin, I know, and that's why Gavin has a better relationship with mom. Gavin is my mom.
Well, that's normal in every
yeah.
kid. I think everyone's more like a dad or more like the mom.
Yeah, and as I'm saying, Gavin still loves you, but I'm saying he told me 3-4 years ago or some shit where he's like, yeah, I feel like I don't have that connection with dad that you do.
Damn, this podcast is something, boy. I tell you.
Do you know what I mean? Though?
I
You know what I mean, though?
yeah.
It's not a bad thing. I'm not saying he didn't have a connection with you, but I'm saying
No, I feel
he
you.
saw it as
It's like a middle child.
I don't know.
syndrome.
That's me and mom. That's my mom. I don't think I have a good connection with mom. I have a way better connection with you.
I think
So that's me and Gavin. I have a connection with you. Gavin has a connection with his mom that I would never have. But Gavin has that really
I
good
think
bond.
that's just a basic. I mean,
It's just you latch to one parent. It
Yeah,
just
there's like
happens.
That's what
a
I'm
mommy's
saying.
boy
Yeah.
and daddy's boy. You know, it's
I
just
wasn't trying to get
basically-
deep or anything. But.
It's
Say what you gotta say. Say what you gotta
Say,
say.
hey, this podcast is open.
I latched
Yeah,
to
who do you
him
latch onto?
because we're alike. We got the same blood
That's what I'm
type.
saying. We're the same person.
Serious?
Oh, negative, everything. We
Yeah.
we,
You
we
guys
have
like
the
that?
same everything. You know what I mean?
Am I your dad?
but
Are you my father?
Oh, you my real dad?
all right, folks. It's about to get
but
real.
but
We after hour talk.
but my daughter, I have a connection with her, but I think she's more connected to her mom, though. Do you think?
Yeah, 100%.
That's what
Well,
I'm saying. It's not a bad
Let
thing.
me
It's
let
just-
me get in on that because my son Jojo, which is my second, I have one child with my second wife. He is totally all mom.
100%.
He's all dad when he wants money, but
Yep,
everything else
yep,
is mom.
yep,
and I don't
yep.
hate her for it. I don't hate him for it, but that's just she's a Filipino and they're very family oriented, and she cradles him and babies him to the point where
He's
kinda
Gavin. JoJo's Gavin.
yeah.
With my mom. That's the same. That's the same difference. Yeah. Just answer it.
But I think it's dad. He's calling for
I know
food.
he's gonna call for food, but,
But I think the hardest thing for me was stepkids.
Yeah,
Absolutely. That
That is-
actually
Oh, he
ruined
had-
my
he had-
second. That ruined my second
it ruined
marriage.
his
To
marriage,
be honest,
I can tell you that
must be a hard one.
That is the most.
I can't imagine.
especially
my stepbrother.
if there's an
Yeah, Bubba.
active father in the picture
Huh?
telling you how to
Jaren, the one
run your
Oh, it's a
household
step?
because their kids are
Oh.
in that household.
white as hell.
What's wrong with that?
he pop out a white kid. That's like Dex, I guess.
You guys just said, well, I mean, you fucking never
But
liked
but
it.
I think that is hard because again it has to go with
He said that right before you came here. He's
it
like,
has to go with cultural differences.
yeah.
Has to go with the way you were raised and
He's white, like fucking Castle
Who,
the Ghost.
Jaren?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jaren and Bubba, they're white.
You said he looked like Captain America's knockoff.
Yeah.
basically.
But yeah, they're white. But my other daughter, she's my stepdaughter. She's George. She's mixed.
Hold on. So you
Bro, I got lots
tell
of
me
kids.
your kids. I'm not gonna say anything on the podcast, but we'll talk later.
Let me say, Milky Way.
No, he just looks like
He's white.
yeah.
Is that a Treyu from the Neverending Story?
No, but so
Look him
okay.
up, look him
so
up.
Eric, son, like same mom, same dad, right?
Right.
And then who else is same mom, same dad?
Daughter.
My daughter.
That's it.
Lonnie.
Elon.
And then that's everyone
That's
else's step.
And everybody else is.
Yeah, because me and Gavin are the only blood. Like me and Gavin are the only that's my
Same
brother.
mom, same
yeah,
brother.
same mom, same
Same
dad.
mom, same
and then
dad.
everyone else
But at the
is
same time, I'm real close with I think Jordan and Bubba.
What?
I'm real close with
Oh, yeah.
Jordan and Bubba. I mean, no, excuse me, Jordan and Jaren. Real close with Jaren.
Well, him and Bubba had tiffs.
Me and Bubba used
Tiffs?
to.
Tiffs. Bubba used to try to
define a tiff.
They used to go through
Like
it.
fights.
Bubba would do
Like-
some dumb
yeah.
shit, and they would just
Tiffs.
tiffs.
I
Like
heard that.
Yeah, we used
might
to,
be
we used to
East
go
Coast
through
thing.
it. We're cool now because he's grown now.
Yeah.
But when he was young,
How old are your kids?
So,
Like, so
EJ
Eric's-
28.
Oh,
got,
he's older than you?
No.
EJ, motherfucker.
Yes,
Oh, fuck. Sorry. I don't call him EJ.
It's too much data.
So
Too much
Eric,
data.
Eric,
He's
yeah,
28.
yeah.
So you got Jordan, who's 25.
Yeah.
You got Bubba, who's Michael. That's his name, Michael. He's 23.
That sounds right. Because Jaren's 21.
And Lonnie's 23.
Wow.
And then Jaren's 21, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
That's
then
a
I
good
got
age
another
range.
stepdaughter, Kelsey, what I consider myself.
Yeah.
She's 23 also.
Yes.
Wow. Some baby kids up in this
Damn.
house.
Yeah. So everybody's grown.
Yeah.
So
Family reunions must be awesome.
So to go
Or
back
are
to Totland, nah, bro, I can't do that, bro. No.
He says for him to have another child at this point.
Oh,
in life,
yeah, no,
hell
no,
no. But for
yeah,
me,
yeah.
I want it. Like,
Yeah.
Because you're still
that's
in
the gold. That's the golden ticket for me
you-
at 47.
But you're still in. You got teens. You got like your little girl we just saw.
Three-year-old.
You're there, bro. You
still
You're
in it,
already
are you?
there.
world.
You can't get into it.
You ain't left
But
diapers
me,
all the way.
I'm so
Yeah.
far. Like the youngest is 21. Come on, bro. I ain't
Well,
done
yeah.
this.
Oh, you still have Joseph. Yeah. So you have a 13-year-old. He had nothing.
All your kids are
nothing
20
below 20.
plus.
Everybody can drink legally.
Yeah. So I mean, that's fucking.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I'm still in the swaddle, cuddle,
Yeah.
read nighttime
You still
books.
have-
I got
Stage.
grandkids. I got. Like,
I have no
Kelsey-
grandchildren.
Kelsey has her own house.
Yeah.
he
He's
has
a
his
kid.
own
He's
house.
a kid.
Bubba has his
Eric
own
has
house.
a kid almost
I got
the same
3
size.
grandkids.
Well, like I said, every
Yeah.
situation is different. You know,
Yeah.
you've already accomplished all your goals as a father. Me, with a wife
but I
that's never
tell-
had her own biological child,
Yeah.
I'm in
There's
that
a lot of
world.
pressure, and there's a lot of pressure in that too.
Yeah.
And I know you want.
I wish I could see that on the camera.
We did that on camera. We did that on camera.
Like I said, we're after hours.
Yeah. There's a lot of pressure with that, but man,
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I feel like, yeah, one, that's fucking hard to like, even like, I mean, I don't know how the rate is to have kids and shit.
Well, since this is an open podcast, we're being pretty honest here, folks.
Yeah.
We actually tried 2 IUIs,
fuck
which
is that?
is
in vitro kind of.
yep. But that's one step under the $30,000 to
Which is upside
$50,000 process, which is an
Jesus.
IVF.
You spent that money?
IVF
No,
is
no.
basically
IVF
when they
is
put
one.
the sperm in the needle and they put it right directly into the egg. So that's your chances of that is really, really high. But IUI is basically washing the man's sperm, getting the best swimmers into position, and then they release it in front of the egg. And hopefully one penetrates the egg,
Attaches
producing a
and
baby.
stuff, yeah.
So we did it twice. No luck there. So now
Does she
we're
have
just
good
back
eggs?
to the basics of
How you
Like-
does she have good eggs?
No, because can you test a woman's like?
yeah, they when
fertility?
you go to a fertility
Fertility.
clinic, they do everything. They test you. They give you a map of your insides basically and tell you like, hey, this is your chance. But we went in there with high spirits.
What about you? Are
we
you
had
have good
insurance.
swimmers?
All mine were good.
Oh.
I had no like pulled me to the side and says, hey, you know, you got
Your numbers low.
broken leg
Yeah.
swimmers. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like mine were all good, so my confidence was high. You know, and then my wife had a little. They said she had like a little cul-de-sac near one of her fallopian tubes.
Yeah, that catches all the sperm.
Which it was so small at the time, but they still have to point it out.
So she
And
has
we're
a-
not
she
thinking
has a
that was
dent?
a problem. It's a little like cul-de-sac, which is like a little U shape down the fallopian tube where the sperm would go. But if you have a slow sperm and he sees that, maybe he like
drifts off.
drifts off and dies in
Yeah.
that little tiny cul-de-sac.
Man, this is we went to chemistry, biology.
deep stuff. This
we've
is
hit
deep
it all
stuff,
today,
folks.
huh?
So,
But
wow.
and that only cost us about $1,000 per try because we had insurance.
And you ain't trying to mess with that 50,000.
Yeah, I love my wife. I do want her you know, for her to be a mother, biological mother, but $50,000? Hell no,
He said,
girl.
fuck that.
You better get a job.
Yeah, I don't think honestly, like I couldn't spend it. I think unless it was like a
fucking me.
fucking,
I just don't. The reason I don't want to spend that money because I don't want to feel like I paid for the kid.
that's what I'm saying.
And it's like, hey kid, I,
love
bought you.
Yeah.
Does she? I think it's a blessing in disguise though that Amelia came out of nowhere.
Amelia was the biggest blessing I mean,
she's fucking amazing.
She is the most.
This girl,
so cute.
This girl is like
baby in the world.
unbelievable. Yeah, like she legit. When I first saw her, I don't want kids.
She's a miracle.
Like I
baby.
do want kids.
Wow,
I
here
do.
we go.
No, I do want
all
kids.
the ladies listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose like 16 followers today.
Probably. They don't follow for me. Trust me. So I want kids eventually. But like at the time I was like, oh no, fuck kids. I don't want to do anything.
Actually, he's
travel.
always been about against it. And I thought it was my fault.
Yeah,
like,
and
wow,
the
that's a bad
second I
father.
saw Amelia, dude, I was like,
But that'll change that. Like as you get older.
I told him that.
No, that's what I'm saying. I know. But what I'm saying is like when I first met Amelia, dude, something clicked to me where I was like, wow, I can have a kid. Like I can do this.
The bond
like,
was that tight.
Dude, when I go to his house, it's like she's like my little homie. Like,
yep, she runs
dude,
to him and they
I
cuddle.
fucking love
She always
her so
asks, "Where's
much.
brother?"
Yeah.
Now, you see how you feel? Imagine that little homie being just like you.
Mine,
Dude,
I
that
know.
shit
That's
fuck-
why, like,
when
dude,
when Dux does cool shit that's like bad, but it's funny. at the
I
same
see him all the time.
The other day, he standing on the counter. He took his drawers on. He said, "Wee time." That shit made me die laughing.
That's the best.
'Cause I was like, "What the?"
And you
fuck
know it's
just
like
happened?
you ain't supposed to do that, but guess what? That's the best.
And mommy not
Cameron's like,
downstairs
"Wow,
right
same
now.
size." Hey, little shrimp.
Now I just lost 15
Put
bucks.
that mirror away.
See, man, that's
But
great.
yeah,
That's greatest. Yeah, kids.
Yeah.
The littlest thing kids do when you're a parent is just like, man, this is the biggest jackpot in the world. I'm
How do
telling you
you,
right now.
so like, this is my big thing. As you get older and you see your kid like get older as well, you know, is it weird watching them get older?
Hell yeah, it's weird.
I don't
Right
think
now, my stage is weird as fuck because you know why it's weird? It's not weird.
Like how fast they age.
Yes.
Like I can remember still to this day, like I remember laying on the ground. Gavin was laying in the bed with you. You just got home from work. We were like all going to bed. And he told me this story about Yellow Rain. And it's like his classic. But like I remember laying on the ground and like crying, laughing for like 4.
Isn't
it
that
was like,
weird?
Dude, it was like
one story
Yeah.
about Yellow Rain. It was about two kids that were kind of mischievous kids, and it was like snowing outside, and they were running around playing. And one kid went on the roof and he was peeing, and the other kid was like dumbfounded. He's like, "Oh, Yellow Rain!" And it was a weird, dumb story, but it's like,
Dude, I
wow.
was
It's stuck
crying.
forever.
Gavin legit pissed the bed.
20
remember?
plus years later.
Gavin laughed so hard he
But-
fucking pissed the bed.
But when
I
you
used to
have
make up
your
stories.
kid,
I'm gonna say the same thing. Oh, 100%.
I done told
Yeah.
Dex the
it-
dogs take the jackets off all the time.
I told him stories when he was
Our
little.
dogs take their skin off.
so-
So the jacket.
At our house, when we used to stay at our house, I was
Hannibal
like,
Lecter.
I used to tell him a story. They used to say, "Daddy, tell me a story," and I tell him, and I used to just make them up on my head.
Yeah.
And I said I came in one day, and I had an Akita and a cat, right? And the cat used to tell Akita, "Hey, turn the air conditioner on because it's hot as hell in here." And I used to tell him so.
that
And I
wild?
said one day I came in here, and the Akita had his jacket off. I said because he has a zipper right here, and he had the bottoms on, and the cat was on his back, and he was lifting him up to control that.
Isn't that wild? But that's what makes a great dad, you know?
They laughed until they cried.
Yeah.
They laughed every night.
But
about
that's like me now is like I remember that story. You know what I mean? It's like that like memory.
That's
Yeah.
my achievement.
It's weird
folks.
how like it's weird. Yeah.
Peeing off a roof.
That's all I remember.
Yeah.
I can die now.
But it's like I remember those little things, and I feel like it's so weird now that I'm 24, and that like went by like fucking instantly. Like I can't remember like anything. It just fucking.
I
all of
believe
sudden
a
was
lot of
24.
memories when you're a child are frozen. Okay, and what I mean by frozen is it could be traumatic, it could be joyous, it could be. I mean, this is where I tell a lot of people, and they're like confused a little bit, but memories that you don't understand are frozen. Okay, not literally frozen, but they're frozen in your mind somewhere. And as you get older,
Right.
they unthaw,
I agree.
and then it makes sense because my son always tells me like, "Oh, Dad, this. Oh, now I see why you did this. Oh, now I see." So therefore. I mean, wow, I'm sure you have a lot from your parents.
Just like that.
You have a lot that, like, you never even told him, but you don't have to because it's a frozen memory that came alive.
Exactly.
That's why my
100%.
dad drank 40s every night.
But the thing about it, but you know what's funny
I'm joking.
is like, okay, I'm 52, right?
I'm not.
I'm 52, right?
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm 52. I feel like I was running around like he does with his son. I feel the same way.
Absolutely.
I just am older. I can't help that. You know what I'm saying?
Been here
But-
longer.
But at the same time, I feel the same way.
Yeah.
So
But that's, yeah, like me, my famous line is like, man, I still feel like I'm 19.
exactly.
I'm 47 years old, but I don't, when I see men walking down the street like business attire, I'm like, who the hell is that? Like, that's
Yeah.
not me.
Right.
Does that make, my
Yeah.
mentality?
No, it makes
Yeah.
sense.
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
because my best years,
What was that?
Besides my children, when I was 19,
Yeah, I
I had long, beautiful hair.
we were talking about
I had freedom. I mean, it was so like, and I just froze in that, you know, I guess it was the best of my
the
life.
highlight of your life. Yeah,
I got to experiment everything.
Yeah. Oh,
You know, and I have no rules.
interesting.
And my dad was raising us.
Let's go down that road.
And that's it. And then after that, I said, after all my fun was done with, I just said, okay, I'm going to get married and have some kids.
But at the same
And
time,
that's what I did.
I don't have any regrets though.
Yeah,
I don't live
yeah.
in. I wish I would have done this. I wish I could have done that. I'm good, bro.
Father.
If I died tomorrow, I'm good.
Amen.
You know that's
Amen.
part of the reason this podcast started.
We need some Kurt Franklin.
Oh yeah,
Because we were at work and Kim was bullshitting for long. He was like, "We should do the podcast. We should do this." I was like, "This fuck is this?"
It wasn't because like I wasn't saying let's do the podcast because like I thought of the idea out of fucking nowhere.
It's because
like we would talk at work all day, and then we'd literally have like it'd be me and him just talking, like literally just like this, and then we'd like look around, and there's like 5 people just listening. Like we're just having a conversation, and we don't even fucking notice anyone. Yeah, and they're just like sitting in their chair, like yeah, and then what happened? And we're like, oh fuck, what's up?
But
Like
we are mirrors of each other. The group is in this room right now. Father.
Oh yeah, it's
son.
so
We
weird.
are
I
mirrors.
tell him this all the time. Like when we first met, I was like, "Damn, we have a lot in common." Like he's done a lot more like sporty shit, but like when it comes to
too.
like family,
What happened to
past,
that, son?
oh yeah, he was,
Yeah, me
yeah.
too.
You know, he used to be a fucking.
I
killer
was a big athlete.
Yeah, he was a killer
Basketball,
athlete.
football,
I
everything.
think I would have been if I like.
went that way.
Who the fuck am I kidding?
It came down to like I handed him a keyboard and a football, and he's
Yeah,
like,
and I chose the fucking mouse. Yeah. Like I can't.
But
I
it
don't
ended
think
up doing him good because he's
Yeah.
a brilliant kid. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm beyond proud. You know what I'm saying?
He's a great runner too. Let's talk about it. Like, bring
the baby wipes.
I love runner. Hey,
Define runner.
Just so you know,
you roasted me last podcast.
just so you know, I love that. I love that episode.
That was a
I love
great
that.
episode.
That was
Shit is pants.
Oh yeah,
told
absolutely.
you.
I heard about-
He said,
I told you.
at the park, right?
That was a great episode.
Yep.
That was one of my favorite
You
episodes.
literally ran him to shit.
I didn't do
Ran the
anything.
shit out of
No,
him.
I said it like 9 times. I
he
told him 9
started
times.
sprinting.
I was like, Glove, I got shit. And I was like, I was like, we're getting this run over.
I
with.
remember
He said
that,
he
yep.
had the shit at the house.
Yep.
Then this motherfucker takes off
Yep.
running like a 4-mile
bathroom right
pace.
there.
Right
Right
Yeah,
there.
I could have took a shit. I did take a shit right before we left, actually. Right, he knocked on the door. I was like taking a shit, and I was like, I'll be down in a second. Came downstairs, and I was like, all right, let's go. And we got like 2 feet in. And I was like, whew.
Why is there 2 shits sometimes?
Dude, I don't
Let's talk about
fucking
shit
know.
for 1 minute. Have you ever had to like shit and then like
And then
you
second
shit
one
afterwards?
comes. Yeah.
Doesn't know-
Because you're not finished.
Yeah,
You're not done
finished.
yet. You
But
got
that
to
your
wait.
body feels like it's done.
But
No, 'cause
that
it
weight
just
in
shook it up.
between, you don't want to sit there too long. So you stand up. 'Cause
Yeah.
You're like, I think I'm done. But I get you. Let me give you a pro tip. Get you a squatty potty. That won't happen to you no more.
Is that where your legs go up?
Yeah. Well, it's a Japanese.
Because I have to drink coffee. It's
Asian.
like the first thing I do from the age I was like 17, 18 is I always ritually drink coffee, one glass. And the only reason I do that, A, for the taste, and B,
Like black coffee.
You like
no,
coffee?
coffee, just coffee with creamer.
Okay,
I hate
okay.
I
coffee.
can't stand coffee.
I love
hate
coffee.
coffee.
I love coffee.
You like
and
coffee?
basically
yeah, it
it's
don't matter.
coffee,
He drinks
and
coffee all the
then
time.
I try to release whatever I ate the following days.
Yeah.
and that's it.
So
That's
the
my ritual.
Your coffee is your laxative.
Basically.
Absolutely, 100%.
This podcast went from one thing to
Yeah,
the next.
absolutely.
This is great.
That's what we are, baby.
This is great. This is great.
That's
This is how
what-
everyone
This is
functions.
how literally every time we have a guest on, at the end of the podcast, they're like, "Wow, that was random as fuck." And we're like,
was.
"You're damn right it was."
Well, random, being random is what catches the attention of people
Yeah.
because they're like, wow,
We
they're
have
actually
so many
talking
different
about
topics.
shit.
I'm gonna say this. I've been podcasting
Absolutely.
for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And then when I always tell him, man, y'all got a great podcast, man.
we just fucking talk.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, but legit.
I'm telling
Like what we did at work, we were like, oh, let's capitalize.
Let's just
on
take
Let's
this.
take it over
It's
there.
gonna it's gonna pop.
Yeah, we're
One of
waiting
these
for
days.
it.
Absolutely. Yeah, you guys should be very proud of
gonna-
yourself.
yeah.
And this is just the beginning. The
Yeah.
world's going to be wide open
It's gonna pop.
with bigger guests,
Yeah,
bigger opportunity,
We're
bigger
trying.
conversation.
We're slowly
I
getting there.
don't, but I think the only thing that me and him want out of everything though is to keep it 100% the same. Like the
Oh, we know. I don't want to change.
I
it.
Don't
I
go
don't want-
corporate.
Yeah.
Don't go corporate
Yeah,
when
you
somebody
don't
comes to
want
your word and say, hey, how you doing?
Hold on.
If people
Unless it goes to like
if Joe
TV
Rogan
show.
and them say, hey, I need y'all to do this podcast.
Yeah,
Then you go
I'll fuck
corporate.
it.
Then you go corporate.
I would say, hey, Joe, how much money we talking?
Yeah,
partner?
because
Yeah.
he got fuck you money. So I mean,
Exactly. If Joe Rogan come a calling, y'all go ahead and
yeah.
go corporate.
I'll be like, oh, you want me to wear a
I'm gonna
dress?
come
I'll wear a
with y'all.
dress.
I'm gonna come with y'all.
I will definitely wear that pink dress. in the podcast.
100%. You got a big mic.
This
for me, that's fine.
episode's
Brought to you by
men in pink dresses.
Hey, I'm down.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you got sponsors, that's
No,
what
I'm
it's all
trying
about.
to. I mean, we're trying to get sponsors too. It's hard though. It's like really hard.
It's
out there.
weird because like the shit that wants to sponsor is the shit that we don't use. We would never
Yeah, we
use.
got like 2 sponsor requests
It's like
already. and it was
tampons.
no, it was like yeah. Oh no,
What are you saying? Our shows, you know what I'm saying? Like we got a weak ass show. Nothing against women, but you know,
yeah.
But as far as your sponsor, you reach out to people too.
That's what we've been doing.
Well,
but
we reached out to like I've emailed like over 50 people probably.
Oh wow.
And then I've sent out like email spreads. I've gone onto like websites to like expand. I've had like video calls with people just to like talk about each other's podcasts and see if like maybe we'd be a good fit to like join their podcast just to like for an episode or two. Like, but it's just like people are. I think people are more. They're very closed off.
Yeah, but are they looking for like how many numbers you're hitting? How many,
They're not
how many
looking
viewers?
Well, see that
If you had
too is,
2 million viewers
I
right
think
now,
at
do
that
you
point
think
that
somebody
would-
be knocking at
we're
your door?
not really there. We're a
and then
very transparent podcast.
People hit you when you hit that number.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
if I'm getting that number, then it's different. But like, I mean, we're very transparent. Like, we probably get like 50, 60 views on like. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed part 1 of episode 22. This episode only gets better from this point on. I can promise you that. A lot of sad moments, a lot of happy moments, a lot of laughing. I can tell you that. We will just want to, thank you for watching part 1, and hope you are looking forward to watching part 2 that comes out next week. This episode is getting broken into 2 parts because it's about 2.5 hours long, and it's a lot to sit through for one video. So we wanted to break it up into 2. However, our podcast after that is going to be really nice quality. We're going to have our own camera at that point. Studio is going to be semi-finished. We'll be hanging up some shelves, putting some items up there, just having a whole new layout. So it's going to look really freaking good. And we're super excited. And we just want to thank you for being on this journey with us. And so we just want to say we love you. And we hope you guys have a good week. Peace out.
Scope of life.